Hello, Tavern Talk of the internet. Wait, no, I still can't get this right.
You literally got it right. What are you talking about?
No,
That was correct.
It doesn't sound good, right?
It sounded fine.
Tavern Talk of the internet. Okay.
Tavern
Hello,
Talk. Did you say Tavern Talks of the internet?
Taverners.
Hello, Taverners. We'll go with that.
Taverners.
That actually rolls off the tongue. That rolls off the tongue really well, actually.
Hello, Taverners.
Second try, you got a really good one. Did you actually say hello, Tavern Talks of the internet?
Yeah.
That's really funny. Tavern Talkers.
Tavern Talkers of the internet.
Could have styled it out, but it's a very broad title. You can do a lot with it.
Yeah.
It's like one-shot plays. We're just really good at broad titles, aren't we?
Yeah.
One-shot streams, one-shot plays, Tavern Talks, Tavern Talkers, Taverners.
Tavern Talkers actually sounds like a really good name for a podcast now.
Tavalkers.
Oh gosh. Alright, we're back with episode 4. I think this is episode 4. Yeah, episode 4! Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Joe? How are things going because this is the IRL segment.
Yeah, I'm doing alright, decent, good.
You been up to things?
Not really, just because it's Christmas period, isn't it now? We've just been sort of like setting up and getting ready for seeing family and stuff. And I mean, the busyness will be, I don't like to say that seeing family's busy because it's really time off, Christmas break and whatnot. Or the holidays, as the Americans like to call it. But I'm just getting ready to see family and of course stock up on video parts over the season and just get ready for a chill out. Really, to be honest, I feel like we've been quite busy this year with a lot of ambitions, so I feel like we both definitely need it over the course of the Christmas break. 2024, I'm trying to look into housing, if you really must know. I know, shocker, in this day and age, in this country, localised entirely within the UK. Sounds like a bit of an impossible nightmare, right? Yeah, my age at 30. It's like this in like a lot of places, sadly.
I
think it's particularly bad over here in England at the moment because there's a bit of a crisis going on. In case you didn't hear with housing, I think the percentage of 30-year-olds who are still living with their families is like 40% or something ridiculous like that.
It's higher than that.
It's almost half. It's close to half, whether it's 60% or 4%. It's a bad percentage. Whatever it is. It shouldn't be any percentage really, but it is. I've now started to begin to dip my toes into the housing stuff, if you will. And my God, was I met with a warm welcome. So I've been looking on Rightmove, and I've been looking at properties that pop up here and there. Been looking for studio flats, because all I need to require to survive is just a single room. A big room, not just a little room like a cardboard box or anything like that. A room that's got all the utilities, like a kitchen,
blocked off walls and everything.
Yeah, just a room, just like attic size. No,
as long as it's
like
got
that.
just a brick wall in front of the windows, you're fine. It's just a perfect.
No, in our housing situation, it might come to that after a while.
Honestly, it might. Yeah. Just a bit of teared down wallpaper as well.
Yeah, but I digress. All I need is a studio flat that has got a kitchen, a toilet, a place where I can put a TV, and a place where I can sit down, and that is literally it. To be honest,
that is a hard find.
As long as I can eat, as long as I can shit, as long as I can sit down and do whatever the heck and work, then I'm fine with it. And it's a lot
of costs that go into it.
It's a bit of a pipe dream
well.
because I found a pretty cheap place. Well, it's not cheap, but I found a quote-unquote affordable place for my rate that I get monthly. And I called up. There was a property that I shit you not came up about an hour into its, I would say, lifespan of being on the website.
A lifespan.
And I called up the estate agents and I said, this looks like a really nice place down this road. Can I schedule a visit, please? And he said, we're booked up. I was like, come again?
Competition is so freaking fierce.
It's like literally an hour in and it was just completely booked, and this was the first day of the first hour that it was put on. I couldn't believe it. I figured it'd be after a day that something like that would be fully booked. But no, it was gone just like that. It was insane. They said they called me up without any cancellations, which meant a hard no in this day and age. So, and I've been looking at other places and calling up, and they're just fully booked. And unfortunately, the places that I want to get that are affordable to me are cheap to a lot of people who are living together. Because I'm looking for a place by myself, and of course, when you split the costs, then that's going to be a bit more of an easier way for you to get into it, if you can. Because it's, like you say, insanely steep competition. There are ways. It's good that I've sort of got the ball rolling, because there are multiple ways that you can go about this, but it does involve going into a little bit of a deep dive into the wallet, which may or may not be full of money at the moment.
But, I mean, Christmas time, it's coming up and everything. The wallet is definitely not full for me right
There's
now.
a lot of factors that go into it, like the time of the year when you look into it is a very big factor as well. Of course, they also want to see your credentials, and if you can actually pay the rent. They can't just take in a homeless person who'd be like, yeah, I want to live here. And it's like, oh yeah, you can clearly afford the rent with your rags and your
that's
cardboard
also
box and
another
your
thing, isn't
scrappy
it?
dog, yeah. But there are ways of going about it. There are some tactics, because I know people. I know a guy who is in finance, and
you know a dodgy dealer in finance.
Yeah, he's not dodgy. He's trustworthy. Trust me. He's known me in the family for quite a long time now. But I know a dude who is not a criminal.
It's just the way you went around saying like it was like some sort of like
it just feels good to say, like you feel like a cool dude. And you're like, I know a guy. Don't worry about me. I'm a cool guy who knows people. I'm sociable. And so yeah, he's into finance, and he's got some tactics that might help me get my foot in the door more than just looking on a website and calling up and hoping to God that I get a place. So I'm looking locally around my area, because I don't want to stray too far from the office where everything is. It's going to be a nightmare to move all the equipment. In the future, in years to come, maybe I might have to move away from London. Who knows? I'm just laying down options. I have got options.
I know.
Because, of course, everyone that we know doesn't even have a place in London, because it's just way too expensive the more central it is. And of course, as time goes on, it is getting worse and worse and worse. It's like a big, like, you get like, I don't know, video games like Doom Eternal, where you just see like a big radar of the Earth, and you see these heat signatures that signify how much the demon infection has spread. If you go into London, it is like 1,000 degrees, and like it's completely taken over, gone, fucked, unsalvageable. Can't get a house there. Been taken over by the demon overlords of housing, and it is like, right, imagine that, right? Imagine that little like heat signature on the little country of the UK, and it's just it's gradually spreading and spreading and spreading. And now it's starting to reach the outskirts. It's gone past Greater London. It's seeping into Kent, and the coast is literally scrambling for breath, because each passing day it's been getting worse and worse, sadly. So
it could get better again, though. There is always hope.
It's a bit grim though, mate.
It is a bit grim right now, but
I'm not holding my breath, to be honest.
Things could turn around. I'm just saying that,
it's
like,
it very
there, you know, like, you know that whole like something's got to give. Like something has got to give, because people are not going to be able to afford.
Much worse.
Oh,
thank you, Brexit, for keeping all of your lofty promises, like you always do.
Oh no!
Oh, I don't want to bring politics into it, but unfortunately,
let's not roll
this.
Yeah,
but this is the IRL segment.
Yeah, it does kind of roll into it a little bit. I understand, because the consequences of politics have led to this.
It's led to. It's who knew that politics would affect our in IRL lives. IRL is in real life.
You can't escape it.
Yeah,
you can't escape it, mate.
IRL does mean in real life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course it does.
Yeah, I'm just... I mean, it's just lingo that I've always thought is like a really funny saying. Because it's like, you can't say my IRL life, because it just means, my in real life, which makes no sense. So sometimes I hear people that go, oh yeah, this is what's been happening in my IRL. And I'm like, that doesn't really make sense when you put like the actual like abbreviations of that. The actual saying of it, what it means together.
It makes sense in
it's like a code word
sense.
Yeah, because it's a code word at this point now.
Yeah, it makes sense in a podcast sense.
Yeah, I just find it funny.
Because
sometimes my brain just stops me for a second, and it's like, Joe, what you said just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But actually, it does IRL. In this context. Yeah, I mean, in my IRL, but that's what people say, and it's like we've just come to accept that. So, shut up, brain. What I'm saying is not crazy. You're crazy. So,
speaking of,
that's my situation.
I mean, it's not all grim. But speaking of like London and moving out of London, I actually took a trip to Bristol for a weekend getaway last month.
Is that with family or partner?
No, this was with my partner. Me and my partner went to Bristol for a weekend getaway. I just got to tell you though, the story of getting there was an absolute nightmare because we chose. Well, basically, she wanted to drive down to Bristol, right?
Okay.
And she was not really 100% well at the time of when we were going.
Sorry, how long of a journey is it to get to Bristol from?
About a 3-hour drive.
Yeah,
3-hour drive.
I would say so. Yes.
Yeah.
Quite a hefty drive.
So yeah, she wanted to drive down to Bristol, and then her mum called her up and was like, "Oh, what are you doing? You're ill. You can't drive to Bristol. You should take the train. It'll be so much better and all that." Yeah, and cheaper. And yeah, well, actually, it kind of swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Because you're paying for petrol.
It depends.
It depends how big.
About 70% more often than not, it is quicker and more efficient to get a train to actually get out into the countryside, which is insane to think about, but it depends exactly where you're going.
So her mum convinced her, and she was like, and then she spoke to me about it, and I was like, I was kind of like on her mum's side because it's the way she like labelled out the points. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You're not exactly 100% if you don't feel like you can drive it or what. And so she was like, yeah, we'll book a train. And so we go and we book the train, and then 2 days later we find out there's going to be train strikes.
Oh,
so
what a surprise.
Our train, but the thing is, right, her mum was like, oh no, there won't be train strikes, because she was like, are you sure there's not going to be train strikes? And her mum's like, no, it won't be train strikes, that's a different line, it doesn't affect you guys.
Was there nothing that you could look up that just tells you, like TFL or anything?
No,
like
but
that?
there wasn't they hadn't announced the train strikes for this like line yet, like when we were booking it. They said there was going to be train strike for a different rail line, so it was like, oh, it doesn't affect.
Yeah, it randomly pops up sometimes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you don't need it to.
So we get to the station, find out the train strikes, and then, mate, honestly, I've never experienced this in my life, right? No trains. Like, there was one train, it was at the time, there was no trains going to Bristol, right? Then one train pops up. And it comes up and it's like, it's going to Bristol. And then everyone in the station who's going to Bristol scrambled for this train.
The one train.
This was the only train that
Miracle
was going
Ghost
to Bristol.
train has popped out of nowhere. Yeah, everyone's going to go
and
for
so
that.
we get on the train, like, we don't get a seat. We have to stand the whole way to Bristol, which is a 2.5 journey,
on a packed
squashed in on a packed train.
Yikes.
And the one person who, because she was like coughing and stuff, and the one person who offered her a seat was like this really old lady.
Of course.
And she was like, no, I can't take it.
The old lady who deserves it more often than not in society is the one who's offering. Yeah, sounds about fucking right, doesn't it?
You can't. Like, no one else offered her a seat.
Nah, they wouldn't.
So we're just like sitting there, just like standing there for ages. And her mum, she calls her mum up and she's like, "Get the train," you said. And then she tells her mum.
It'll be fun,
and,
said.
And she tells her mum, and the mum goes, "Oh, that sounds," because her mum's actually going to Bath on the next day.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, that sounds terrible. I'm gonna drive down there."
Yeah, thanks for letting me know, daughter.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the full so I can have a cushy ride over to the north. Yeah, cheers for that.
Yeah, so she was like fuming like the whole way, like nearly the whole way like there. She was just like,
that
like,
sucks.
Get the train.
Yeah, because you don't expect a typical City of London train journey up north, do you?
No, not really.
Especially when it's on the overrail as well. Like,
so that was
a normal train.
That was like a damper on like just arriving. We got there. We had like a really nice time. But I swear, like, I've never been Bristol before. My first time ever going Bristol, and we went to, on the first day we arrived, we dropped our stuff off at the hotel, and we went to the Christmas market. It was alright. The Christmas market was actually quite nice. It wasn't too bad. No, it wasn't too bad because we arrived pretty early, so we were like, oh, we'll go to the Christmas market before it gets packed out.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. Saw some really cool stuff. I picked up some things for my family there because there were some really weird things. Done. Yeah, got a little bit of stuff done. And I tried a food-wise, I had this thing called a Yorkshire pudding wrap.
Oh, what?
Like,
did you say rat?
A wrap.
Oh,
a Yorkshire pudding wrap.
5 a.m. brain. I had a second.
Yeah. So what it is they get a giant Yorkshire pudding and they put it in this like thing that flattens it down into like a flat thing, and they wrap it and they put like basically
so it's
a Sunday roast. Yeah, no, it's like a like a wrap. Sort of.
Yeah, but when I think of a Yorkshire pudding being flattened and wrapped, I just think, oh, it's like a taco.
I guess kind of like that. Like, yeah.
Is it in a foil wrap? Or like a tissue? Or like, what? Why Yorkshire pudding? That's really confusing. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, and so they put like gravy, put like cranberry, and like chicken, and like, just like all the things you have in a Yorkshire, like not a Yorkshire, in a Sunday roast.
In a roast.
And it's in a wrap.
Yeah.
And it's in a wrap.
It's like a wrapped roast.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get them in London as well, actually.
I'm sure you can, but I've never heard of it till now.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, it was the first time trying it. I'll say it was nice, but it wasn't like, it was just like a gimmick really at the end of the day, because it's like eating a Sunday roast, but
ain't something you're used to. But in your hand, you can hold a Sunday roast with one hand and then take a bite out of it on the go. Isn't that insane?
That is insane,
I mean, if it works, it works. I imagine it worked.
It's very messy.
Was it just for Yorkshire pudding?
Messy. It's a giant Yorkshire pudding that's flattened down into a wrap.
You didn't have any like potatoes or any...
Yeah, it had potato. You could get potatoes.
It is the entire roast in the wrap.
In the roast.
It's not just for Yorkshire pudding. It's the whole shebang.
Yeah, in a wrap.
Oh, okay. Must be really small if it's just wrapped. Because Sunday roast, at least the ones I have, the servings are fucking huge.
Yeah, they're big, right? Yeah, it's a big wrap. To be fair, we shared it because it was quite big, so we couldn't eat it all.
You have to share it as well.
Yeah,
can't imagine, like, my normal portions of roasts are, I would say pretty gluttonous, I would say, if I'm being honest. But just having that in a wrap, just congested in a wrap, I feel like it would, like the mash and gravy would just seep out of it with the helpings that I have.
It was very messy.
It feels too small to be a roast, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it was in like a paper thing. It was very messy, I will say. It was a very messy thing. It was nice.
I'll have to Google that really quickly.
Yeah, you can do that. And then as we went around like the market, there was like these Santas that looked like they were like stoned. I think did you see the pictures? I posted them on the Discord. They're just like these Santas that were like stoned out of their mind sort of thing. They looked really creepy.
The odd dodgy Santa statue.
Yeah, and then we had like mild cider, which is absolutely lovely. I love mild cider.
Oh
mild
my lord, what is that?
Oh, you've looked it up now.
Oh my lord.
A Yorkshire pudding wrap, yeah.
Yeah, that's balmy.
Yeah.
I mean, power to it if it works, but that is not what I'm used to.
No, I mean, you can try one in London if you want, but...
it looks a bit... I mean, obviously it's going to fill you up, but...
It definitely fills you up,
like, one bite is like having like 5 bites out of like a normal roast.
Roasted,
of the looks of things, because you've got it all in like... It's all congested and squashed into one little wrap. And it's a Yorkshire pudding wrap. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Yorkshire pudding, but... I'm not sure if I'd be comfortable eating it like that. It just looks like an overgrown sausage roll. It's a sausage roast.
It's a very strange experience, I will say that much. Yeah.
Was it enlightening? You think Greg should start selling Yorkshire pudding wraps?
Honestly, that is a marketable idea to them. I'm not saying they will, but
Surprised
I mean,
they haven't, to be honest.
I'm actually honestly surprised they haven't. Because, yeah, I mean, it's very popular. Do you know where you can get them? I just realised you can get them in Camden. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the food market.
I mean, you can get everything in Camden, so that makes sense.
Yeah, in the food marketplace.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was like day one, and then we went on day 2. We went out to Bath, and we went because it's only like a 15-minute train ride to Bath, right? 10-15 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. We took the train, we went to Bath. We went round there because their Christmas market is like the Christmas market. So we went there really early so we didn't get caught in the crowd because we had a reservation to go and see the Roman baths because that's like the famous thing in Bath.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah, so we went to Bath. Is really weird, like it's very Roman. Well, obviously it's Roman. It's very Roman. It seems like an old town, but like old pillars and columns, you know, all that architecture of like the Romans.
Becomes very
and
ancient Rome.
It's very ancient, but then at the same time it's weird because you have like an M&S with like columns and pillars, and you've got like, you know, like all those standard supermarkets and stuff, but it's Romatized. Like the building's not. It's strange. You like a Costa and it's like ancient Roman pillars outside. It's like what?
Did you go in the actual Roman baths?
We did. Yeah, we did.
What was it like?
We didn't go inside, like actually in our clothes. You're not allowed to go in, like actually in the like in your clothes. You can't go swimming in the bath. You can't do that.
Oh, can you not do that?
You can't go swimming in them.
That's disappointing. Why is it called a bath then?
It's a bath house, and I found the funniest thing I found was like when we were going round, we had like a tour, and one of the interesting facts that I found hilarious is how petty the Romans were.
Oh yeah.
Because my God, right? There's this thing that they had in the bathhouse. I never knew about this. There was a god. They believed in a god called, I think it was called Manusha or something. But I can't remember the name. But it was like they believed that these baths were like for the gods because of the steam. They didn't understand steam rising out of, you know, natural water spring. They thought it was like the gods, like sort of back then. But the funny thing they had these like cursed tablets, which were like little notes that they would, no, not notes, but they're like tablets that they would like carve out to curse someone for doing something wrong. But you would think it would be something major, like that person killed my wife or something. But it was like, that person stole my bathrobe. I want them killed. Yeah, I want you to curse them.
It was Julius Caesar who was like super petty about a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously July, I think, is named after Julius Caesar. I think. Yeah. Which is
I'm
like,
not sure about that.
Man's got like a whole month like named after him.
Yeah. But it was like the most pettiest shit, and I was thinking, how petty must you be? So like, you know, they didn't have pencils back then, and you had to carve out like your messages.
Yeah.
And give them to the gods. The gods don't give a shit. Like, if the gods were real, they're not going to give a shit about someone stealing your bathrobe and stuff like that in the bathhouse.
To the point where there's some really weird religious rules that are about. I mean, look at Greece.
Yeah, because also, like, the bathhouse back then was, like, also religion slapped onto it.
Yeah.
Because it had, like, a religious aspect to it. It was the whole goddess and stuff and gods.
Everything has got a religious aspect to it back in the
it's just baths at the end of the day. And they had, like, a steam room. And you just we got to walk around and see, like, the steam rooms and... Like, they had saunas and stuff back then. It was really interesting stuff, but I just found it hilarious how they had, like, Karens back then. Like...
You say Karens?
Yeah, they're literally Karen. Oh. They're like the olden day Karens. I'm sorry, but like that is
Karen discrimination on the podcast.
The pettiness of the Romans made me laugh so hard. Like, that person stole my bathrobe. Please kill them. My gosh. I don't know. It was just so funny. But yeah, so that was really nice. Got some pictures, and then we went after that. After we came out the bathhouse, it was just. The Christmas market just multiplied. There were just so many people. We couldn't move. It was like, I'll give you an example. It's like Winter Wonderland in London
God.
times 10.
Oh, fuck that. Never again.
Yeah.
Winter Wonderland alone is bad enough. 10 times that now?
So
did people die?
it just multiplied. It was just so many people. Suddenly we couldn't move anywhere. It was like we came out of our tour and then everyone was there. It was insane.
Can't move in Winter Wonderland, let alone 10 times the amount in the countryside.
Honestly, in all honesty, I don't rate I didn't think anything special of the Bath Christmas market, to be honest. I thought it was like...
Yeah, it wasn't all that.
No, it wasn't all that, really. I get it was nice to go to Bath. I enjoyed going Bath, but the Christmas market itself was kind of just like, not really feeling it. Yeah.
Tick off bucket list.
Yeah.
Never to do it again.
So then the next day we were back in Bristol again, and oh man, Bristol is an interesting town. I don't know if I'd like to live there because it's all uphill.
Were you thinking of living there?
No. I'm just saying if I had to move like to another place or whatever. Bristol's cool, but it's very hilly. Like everywhere you go, you're gonna be climbing. You're gonna be climbing a hill. Like the town's built, the city's built on a hill. There's like this giant hill that they say if you live in Bristol, you get something called Bristol bum, which is because you're always going uphill and stuff, so it really works your glutes.
Oh, alright. Good for your thighs, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why they call it
no
Bristol
need for leg
bum,
day in Bristol.
No need. If you're walking around Bristol, a lot of it is quite uphill. We went and saw the bridge. We saw the I can't remember the name of it's a bridge. Clifton Suspension Bridge, which was really cool. It's like it's just a bridge that
is it very high up?
Yes, it's a very high bridge. Yes, it's suspended by two things.
Suspended and bridge put together is a sentence that scares the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, and then we climbed up the observatory. We got pretty lucky with the weather, but all in all, that was nice. But it was the coming home part that struck, like, kind of put another damper on the whole holiday. Because you know those whole strikes that were going on with the trains or whatever?
Yeah.
There were no trains back home to Paddington.
Okay.
So
was that due to strikes again?
We couldn't get back home. Thankfully, we could get to Bath because my partner's mum was actually in Bath. She could give us a lift home. However, getting to Bath, and bear in mind this is just 15 minutes, right? Was an absolute nightmare as well because of the train strikes. We were sitting on a train and we were sitting there like, oh, okay, we got on a train, we got a seat, great, we'll go to Bath and then meet your mum, plenty of time. Sitting there, an hour goes by, they're like, we're waiting for the train, the driver to come. The driver's on their way, they'll be here shortly. Sorry for the delay. We'll keep you updated. And then like another 30 minutes goes by, they're like, the train driver is not here yet. We're still waiting. They're held up somewhere. We'll keep you updated. And then like half an hour more goes by and they're like, we're not sure where the driver is. So we've been on the train for 2 hours waiting for this train to go. And we're not sure where the driver is. Just sit tight. There's another train coming in 10 minutes if you want to get on that one, but it's going to be super packed out because, so they're like, to be honest. So you should sit on this one because that one's only got 3 carriages. If you're in no rush, just sit on this one. And then after like another like 15 minutes, they go, this train is now cancelled. We don't know where the driver is. We have no idea what's going on. We're going to have to cancel this train.
It just spiraled into absolute nothingness after that. There was hope, but it just dissipated gradually.
Oh my god. So we were sitting there for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, right? And then, they said about that other train coming in like 15 minutes with the 3 carriages. Only 3 carriages. Yeah. It's a very small train. That was our only chance of getting to Bath that day. That was like literally, and lo and behold, like my partner was just like going, we're never gonna get, like, she went into like a negative spiral because like it was just absolute rampart. I was like, we might get really lucky if we stand right here because the doors open here, like sort of thing. Like if we stand right in front of the doors, we can make it onto that train. And oh, lo and behold, we actually perfectly timed it up so the doors were like right next to us.
Well done.
I was like, oh my god.
Mission success, you got on the train. Well done.
It was an absolute nightmare though, man. The experience was hell on earth. But yeah, it took us 3 hours to get to Bath that day when it was only a 15-minute trip.
Yeah, that's the UK for you. That's transport in general. I'm pretty sure it happens in a lot of places, but
it does.
That just be travel in general, mate. If one thing goes wrong, then everything goes wrong. That's just how it is. You know, snowflake falls on the train tracks or a leaf, God forbid, then it's signal failure straight away. You know. Yeah,
I just think it was just bad timing on like I don't know why they did it, like the strikes. I don't know, but I'll never know why London Underground strikes.
Well, besides the travelling woes, it sounds like you had
it went really good.
Experience up there. You did Christmas stuff, so that's a good thing. And you also discovered Yorkshire pudding wraps, which is still a very weird concept to think about, but. They exist,
and I had lovely breakfast as well because they had a waffle maker there as well, which was really cool.
Oh yeah.
At the place. So beautiful. Yeah, it was a really good trip overall. Just the travel just put a bit of a damper on it. It kind of like took over a little bit, but other than that, it was a nice trip.
Yeah, that's good.
It was a good time.
It's nice to go out, you know. Go travelling with a partner, because you're up north than I am. I'm more of a down south sort of bloke, so I don't know how different it is when it comes to like driving versus trains. But when you're ever going down south to like say Brighton or Cornwall, I mean it depends on distance, but the further out you're going, the more effective it is usually to take a train, because it takes about 5 or 6 hours to go by car to get to places like Devon, for example. Yeah. Whereas if you get a train, it's like you're not paying for fuel, you're just paying for the ticket, and the train journey is like 2 hours. No, I mean, it depends. I've not gone up north enough, so I don't really know like the difference of how better it is to drive than it is compared to get a train there. But to be honest, mate, it just sounds like you were unlucky. Yeah, just really unlucky with timing, I think. Yeah, it didn't help that she was sick as well, exactly. Yeah, Paul was on. You get a bad journey as well as bad health, and it's just a bad, sad day for all. It's just. This is where it is. But we had a good time at least. We had a good time. We made the most of it. I'll say that. Just pretend that the travel never happened, even though it took ages. Yeah. It's all about the destination, not the journey, right? Yeah. No, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Bristol's a nice place, just very hilly. There you go. Just very hilly. Go find yourself up north and go see Bristol, but don't take a train when there strikes, whatever you do. Yeah. If anyone's interested. That's pretty much on that side. And then the other big thing that happened, I started my driving lessons. Oh, you actually got them started this time? Yeah, I got them started because I had to do an eye test this time. So yeah, because I originally had driving lessons, as I did point in the Discord, with this guy called Tony. Tony's driving. That's really funny. It's the same name as my instructor back when I was doing it when I was like 17 years old. Yeah. So he came to my house. I booked a lesson. He came to my house. He knocked on the door and he was like, "Oh, what's your experience of driving?" I go, "I did it like back when I was younger, before going off to university, and then I just never picked it up again," sort of thing. Yeah. He was like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Can you stand like across?" I was like, "Across the road." He goes, "Can you read that number plate 6 cars down?" Away. Yeah. And I was like, D E. That's cruel, especially on someone like you, because of course you've got I've got dyslexia as well, so it doesn't help. Heavy dyslexia there. Yeah, it doesn't help that. And he was like, "Okay, I'm really sorry, but if you can't read that number plate, I can't take you driving." I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah, it's a law thing now.
Yeah,
I think it always has been. I didn't know because obviously I didn't have to. Because I probably passed it back when I was younger. But
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know it was that far away.
Now.
I mean, my mum can't read the number plate 6 cars away either. So I was like, oh shit. So I needed to. I instantly like booked an eye test. I've now got glasses.
Hey, glasses sprites incoming.
Yeah.
If you the word them more permanently.
I only need to. When I went for my eye test, I was like really freaking out because I hadn't been for an eye test in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Or so. You know, it's been a long time. And they actually said my eyesight's not bad. They were like, oh, like no, your eyesight's pretty good. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I'm shocked. And they do like a 3D scan now of your eye. Like it's really high tech. Mm-hmm. I was like, they look inside, like behind the eye, so they can see. Yeah, I did like a 3D scan, and
they had those for quite a while now.
I don't know. I hadn't been for an eye test in 20 years.
Oh
so.
yeah, me neither. So what do we know? But yeah.
Yeah. So they showed me like the scan and everything, and they said there's like a line, and it was like you want to stay in the green on the line to like see how much your eyes are straining and stuff.
Yeah.
And my eyesight basically stayed in the green on the line, so I was like, oh, that's great. Like I've got good eyesight, and they're like, yeah, you just got a squint on your, like, you've got like a astigmatism or like a squint on your left eye. Because like when I did the whole, can you cover your eye, you know, like and read the line, you know, the old school, like these are the letters, and they get smaller and smaller and smaller. Sort of thing.
That's typical eye test stuff.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. And I had like I couldn't do it from my left eye is a lot weaker than my right.
Yeah.
Apparently, funny enough.
Is that what dyslexia comes from when you've got an eye weaker than the other, and that sort of like combines to disjoint your view a little bit?
I did actually ask about it, and they said, well, I was like, oh, I never really thought about it, but they didn't really give me an answer on it. So no, I think that's to do with like your brain. I think that's more to do with how your brain's wired.
Yeah, dyslexia is more a brain thing, right? Because not only is it eyesight, but it's also a brain stuff as well.
Because it's the way your brain is perceiving.
Yeah, it explains why when I sometimes say left, you suddenly veer right. And I'm like, no, that's not what I said. That's the wrong way. Because your brain is like, for some reason, thinking that it's the other way when it's not. It's
yeah.
As we learned from the Catherine LP years ago, multiple times.
Yeah.
This isn't your fault, to be honest. That was actually straight up a dyslexia thing, which I actually didn't know back in the day. I've definitely mellowed out since then. I'll probably be a lot more easier on you in that game if we played it like recently, like right now, like next year or this year. But back then I was like, are you stupid or something? Without obviously knowing that it's a dyslexia. I thought it was just you being silly.
It made for good content. It's fine.
It was content. Yeah.
That game was stressful. Anyways. Yeah, so they gave me, like, I had to buy glasses are expensive nowadays, man. I did not realise how expensive glasses are.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to break those things. Those things are valuable.
Yeah, I paid a pretty penny for a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got them now. I think they look pretty good on me. I think they're alright. They look alright. They suit me at least.
You're welcome.
That's the me.
Yeah,
they suit me at least. Yeah, works with the beard and the little hair, I guess. I don't look like an anime villain for people. I don't do the anime glasses gleam.
You ain't got the lens flare just yet.
I don't have the lens flare just yet.
Maybe in summer you might get like more of a lens flare to experiment with when the sun comes out again. How was your driving though in the end, mate? Was it good?
So getting back to that. So yeah, I picked up the glasses and then I had to book a new lesson. Tony couldn't see me, so I got someone called Roxy, and it's kind of funny actually, because I was thinking Roxy was gonna be like a woman, right? And so they come to my door, and then lo and behold, I was quite surprised that they were trans. So I was just a bit shocked. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't expect that. Cool. I didn't expect that. But actually, They were very, very good. I have to say, very good. Yeah, I learned a lot. I'm doing it on an automatic, by the way. I'm not doing it on gear shifting.
Oh yeah.
Oh my lord, I just cannot. I never really got the hang of it back when I was younger.
It's a different feeling because you got to think about more stuff when you drive a manual. Like, of course, you've got to think about the gears, and then you've got, the problems of stalling and stuff like that. Whereas an automatic, it's just stop, go, stop, go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I noticed that on an automatic, I was already getting a bit more of a hang of it, way more than I was when I was driving the manual.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is just look around, like you just put the car into drive, and then look before you take off. Just look all around you, and then just let go and just check your mirrors and everything. But yeah, it's a lot more outside the car than inside the car, because I think with gear shifting, you have to focus way more on what you're doing inside the car than sometimes your attention outside, where I could focus a lot of my attention on the outside when I was driving automatic, so it was so much better.
Yeah, it's like anything, it's like riding a bike, you just you get on and you just move your hands around, and the more you do it, the more you get used to it, to the point where you can just focus on where it is you are actually driving. So that's what you got to do, really.
I do think she's a very good driving instructor, because when we went around the block like 8 times.
Yeah.
And practice parking and going off and driving around and dodging through car, not dodging through car, but spaces. There were a couple of cars in tight spaces, and squeezing the car through them. And a great piece of advice she gave me, because I was really nervous about hitting the other car, and she was like, don't think about hitting it, don't think about looking up the other car coming towards you. Think about the space in between them. Visualize the space in between rather than the other car coming at you.
Think of a big crazy taxi, a visual square where you've got to drive through.
Yeah,
just don't drive like crazy taxi.
No,
just
don't drive like crazy. Yeah, but it's a great piece of advice, because honestly, it took my focus off of looking at the other car coming towards me, and I was focusing on the space in between the two cars.
Yeah, that's how instructors make you learn. They give you visual cues, and they tell you how to properly think about problems that you got to tackle, and they just make things easier, right?
Yeah, she was really good at it.
Greatest piece of advice I was given by an instructor is treat everyone on the road like they're an idiot, and that's got me very far, I would say.
Oh yeah, that is a good one, yeah.
Don't trust anyone, because people take liberties on the road, especially when they've been driving for a long time, to the point where they can make really critical mistakes. And if it gets to the point where you don't foresee it coming, it could lead to potential accidents. So it's give people a wide berth. And and of course, when you see danger, just slow down. Those are the big ones for me.
I think the craziest thing I experienced was more the turning. Because you know me in the left and right, with the indicator.
Oh yeah.
I've got another great piece of advice for the indicator.
That always
as well.
takes time to get used to.
Because up is left and down is right.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So the way I
up is
got
right
told,
and down is
left. Down is right.
There you go.
I mean?
Prime example.
Up is right.
Yeah.
Up is right, down is left. Yeah. But the way I got told to memorize that was that when you turn the wheel to the left, you're actually when you're turning the wheel to the left, it will be down, because your wheel is facing the same way.
You're turning your wheel down, so it's the down direction.
Yeah.
Turn left.
I never that just helped me so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I never realised that.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a decent one.
Sounds small, but she's a great driver.
There's little things like that to get you going, especially when you need visual cues to know what you're doing. So it sounds like they've adapted to the way that, the style of your driving, and helping you get through it. So cool. Sounds like you got a good one.
First lesson was good.
That's going well.
Expensive though. They're expensive though.
Oh yeah, more expensive too. Don't worry. And that was 10 years ago.
How much did you pay for your driving lessons that you had kind of recently? When you had refresher lessons?
I didn't. I got in a car with a family member, and I just drove again, because of course
you lucky dog,
because I got my driver's license literally when I was 18, and 12 years later I just got back in the car and I was like, oh yeah. But of course that was back then, I was driving a manual, But now I was just riding with an automatic, and it was, you can really feel the difference when you've driven a manual once you move on to an automatic. I just got a family member to driving with me, and I mean, I know it's the most generic saying, but it is like riding a bike. Like, at that point, it was just steering wheel and pedals. And the only thing I had to get used to, again, was just the roads and where I was driving, and of course road signs and visual cues. And after about 6 months, I ended up somehow buying a car, and now I am an official motorist. So there you go. So I paid nothing.
Get in there. That is the goal. That is the goal. Yeah, but I'm paying quite a fortune for mine. But it is
I'm glad I got them out of the way. I got me license. So I did.
I should have done it a long time ago, but
which is good.
That's the thing. I should have done this a long time ago, but it just, London trains, and I never had the need for it.
Oh, you don't drive in London. It's hell on earth. You get nowhere, and of course there's congestion too, and emissions, and it's just a lot of fucking bollocks you don't want to deal with driving the city.
Yeah, but now I'm like sort of out of London. It's kind of a need.
Yeah, it is. I drive out of London to get to the airport so I can pick up my girlfriend, and of course if I want to drive to Brighton, of course driving by car is better than train with that distance. It's motorway driving is what I primarily use my car for, and of course because my work is technically on a motorway, it's on a bypass, a car is super useful for that. So I've had a use for my car, so of course the car is here to stay. It's just knowing when you need a use for a car, otherwise it's just an expense that's going nowhere.
Exactly.
So congrats, man.
All right.
I'm glad you're going forward in life.
Hopefully.
In your IRL.
In my IRL, All right, I think that's enough on me. Anything else you want to add on your IRL?
No, that'll do, mate. I think
it's
been a long enough segment of
Fair enough.
real life.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in part 2 with... Oh, wait, actually, there is one more thing I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
We got merchandise now.
We do
that's huge, We got a merch video and everything. I just got to plug it. I was hard on that merchant video. It's going to be a new plug. We got merchandise, hopefully to do more in the future. And there are also some other talks I'm having with the certain merchandiser at the moment.
It's getting the ball
rolling. To
make
things, which is good. So
I've got some ideas for designs in my wacky brain of mine. So when I get time amongst all my other projects that I've got planned for the channel, I'll definitely get onto that so we can do things like possibly like mouse mats, maybe t-shirts. T-shirts seems like a big one to me. And of course, the one that people are probably really going to be expecting to do with our channel and the theme, coasters.
Coasters can be a thing.
But our drinks not we actually have coasters.
We can actually have coasters, we've got lots of ideas for merchandise, but for now we have key rings and fridge magnets, which are really cool actually. They're actually very good quality. I can attest because I've experienced and I've got them, and they're very nice. They're good quality. They're good quality. You're paying for good quality stuff. You're paying for good quality stuff. I'll say that. Alright, well, next time we will see you in part 2. Take care, everyone.